For decades, Iran and Israel fought a shadow war, proxies, covert ops, threats. But in June 2025, it erupted into open conflict, Operation Rising Lion. On June 13, over 200 Israeli aircraft struck Iran, targeting its nuclear and missile sites with 330 precision munitions. Iran retaliated with 550 ballistic missiles, aiming not at military targets but at Israeli cities, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, hoping to terrorize and overwhelm. Israel's air defenses lit up the skies, intercepting many, but some missiles got through, causing nearly 30 deaths and thousands of injuries. The world watched a new kind of war: drones, missiles, cyber, and information, technology as decisive as troops. Drones, missiles, cyber, information, technology as decisive as troops. After 12 days, a US-brokered ceasefire paused the fighting, but the damage, physical and psychological, was immense. For the first time, the world saw what direct war between these two powers looks like, and it set a dangerous precedent. The shadow war was now out in the open, and the stakes had never been higher. The June War was a duel of military tech: Iran's massed missiles versus Israel's layered defenses. Israel's Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow systems intercepted 86% of Iran's missiles, and nearly all drones and cruise missiles. Israeli drones, conducting over 500 strikes, became the backbone of its offensive, relentless, precise, and unmanned. Iran's strategy: overwhelm with volume. Even with high interception rates, the few missiles that broke through caused billions in damage and mass disruption. Both sides are now racing to upgrade, Israel pushing for lasers and next-gen interceptors, Iran testing new missiles to evade defenses. The arms race has entered a new phase, driven by the hard lessons of 12 days of war. The battlefield is now defined by innovation, not just firepower. Each side is determined to gain the upper hand before the next round. Beyond the missiles, a hidden war raged: spies, satellites, and cyber attacks. Israel's Mossad and its OFEC satellites gave real-time intelligence, letting commanders strike mobile launchers and command centers before Iran could react. This space-based edge crippled Iran's missile campaign. Iran, outmatched in the air, turned to cyber warfare, targeting Israeli banks, infrastructure, and utilities. Most attacks were blocked, but the threat of digital sabotage remains constant. Both sides now fight a relentless, invisible battle, where a single hack can be as devastating as a missile. The war for information and control is as fierce as any fight on the ground. In modern war, the battle for global opinion is as fierce as any on the battlefield. Iran used social media and regional proxies to highlight civilian suffering, aiming to isolate Israel and win sympathy. Israel countered with its own media blitz, showcasing its defense, declassifying intelligence, and framing itself as a democracy under attack. Both sides fought to control the story, knowing international support means real-world power, aid, diplomacy, legitimacy. The war of words shapes alliances and outcomes sometimes as much as missiles and drones. In this conflict, perception is a weapon. The narrative battle is far from over. A month after the ceasefire, the Middle East remains tense. This war changed everything, but resolved nothing. Iran's new missile tests show its program is alive, raising fears of longer-range threats. Israel, though technologically superior, saw the limits of its defenses and the staggering cost of high-tech war. Both sides are adapting. Israel racing to develop lasers and cheaper interceptors, Iran pushing for missiles that can slip past shields. The conflict is now a race for technological supremacy, intelligence, and narrative control. The shadow war is now a direct, high-stakes contest. One miscalculation could ignite a wider catastrophe. The world is watching, knowing the next round could be even more devastating. The uneasy calm is just the beginning of a new dangerous era.